What up, Tough Build community? Today we're gonna do 10 mods that you can do to a non-turboed car. Alright guys, so the first mod that you guys can actually do to actually gain some more power and hear it for a change is changing out your cold air intake right here. You mostly want to focus on buying a kit and not specifically by sticking a filter on, because that's all you're going to get is just that whoosh noise. That's it. I mean, having this has a lot of restriction to it. So if you buy the whole entire kit, not only do you get to replace this, but you also get a better heat shield. See, where mine is not, the heat is definitely going into this filter right here, and that is actually bad. You don't want heat to go inside, because if you guys don't know, hot air when it enters an engine is just not good. It's too, like, you have to put yourself into the engine shoes, okay? So you're trying to breathe, and that's all you're getting is hot oxygen coming into your lungs. Now, you're not going to be able to breathe, to be honest. So you want cold air, so that way you guys are able to breathe. Now, buy the kit. Don't mess up. But this will definitely gain you some more power.
Right in front of you guys, you have 7 cold air intake systems. 63 series, one of the goodest ones out there. 71, also Blackhawk. I've used it before. I felt a little bit of difference between the 63 and the 71, but you let me know how it feels. And then you also have the 69 series, and then you have these two down here, which is Engine SP series. I never heard. Violent cold air intake system. That's also another one you guys can choose. And then you have Air Ride intake system, another great one. You guys just choose from those and go on with your business.
So your intake manifold, ladies and gentlemen, works with your intake. If you guys do not know, sucking in cold air from here directly goes into here, and it goes through your intake manifold, which gets sucked right into your motor, which allows that fuel and that cold air to mix those air and fuel a lot more better, which will allow more spark, more combustion inside your engine, which allows more power. So the better the cold air is, the better power you're going to gain.
Alright, so you have quite a few of intake manifolds here. The best of them all, you're going to have to find ones that have a little bit more wide opening, so it can allow that cold air to enter your engine. Because the better that cold air is, guys, the more that fuel is going to start mixing and the more power you're going to start putting down. You got to think about it. If you're running a supercharger or a turbocharger, you definitely want a bigger one, because it's going to gain you that horsepower that you really want. And as you guys can see, they're not cheap, but they are an option.
The third mod is your ignition coils. Now, I know that I'm not turboed, but ignition coils are definitely something that you guys can give a shot to. If you're driving an ST or an RS or an SEL, or I've never tried it on an SE or titanium, but you can get these ignition boots right here, and these ignition boots, when I install them, guys, it makes my car a hell of a lot more faster for some reason. And usually just installing ignition boots will never do that. I don't know if I'm just losing my mind or whatever, but I did do this, and I did put different spark plugs in here. I think these are done by NGK, I believe, and those are down in there, and those are cold. And necessarily, I don't really need to use a cold one because I'm not turboed, so there's no reason for that. But that's the third mod that you guys can do, especially your ignition coils and including your ignition boots.
Ignition coils. Now this I can definitely say that I have tried. I have the ST brand on my current Focus right now, which you guys already know mine's not turbo, but these actually work really good. I've had no problem whatsoever. So if you are running a turbo car, such as the ST or the RS or the Mustang EcoBoost, they do have all ignition coils for those directly on this site right here, or you can always stop in at CJ Pony Parts and you guys can find the whole entire pack there. I bought them in blue. Feel free to buy them whatever color you want. They do go for almost $200, and they are 100% worth the money.
Well, Now, the fourth mod that you guys can do, which are definitely good to do, engine mounts. You have one here, which is located on the passenger side of the vehicle, and then you have one underneath your battery box, which is right here, and that one is located, on the driver's side. And then you also have one on the transmission, and those right there will keep your car on the floor flat. These things are just too squishy, and you're just going to get a ton of wheel hop. So it's going to cancel out that wheel hop if you guys change out those little bits of pieces.
Engine mounts provide the best out of anything. It keeps that wheel hop from happening depending on which type you actually get. Like for mine, I would rather get the ST engine mount because, well, they have been proven that to keep the wheels on the ground. It's not only about your engine mounts, it's also about your suspension, which we'll be getting into later. But here's a few more of them. They go for about close to $200. They're really cheap, really reliable for as far as the cop goes. Or you can also, like I was saying in my other clip, is that CJ Pony Parts has tons of these for the ST and RS and Mustang EcoBoost as well. So feel free to check out that website. Link will be down in the description down below.
Now, your fifth mod, you're not going to be able to see this, but it is your sway bar, which is connected to both tires right here, which keeps basically the body from rolling. And that's just one that you really want to change. I'm going to show you a list of some right now, and you guys can actually purchase these. But when you guys do change out your sway bars, you also want to make sure you change out your suspension as well. And that's going to be one of the mods right after I show you guys these sway bars.
Are you guys tired of that sway? Well, here's your answer. Buy a kit of sway bars right here. Link down in the description below if you guys want to check out this website right here. It is to all of your guys' answers. I have not upgraded mine, and I can definitely tell you I am dying to do so. They do go for pretty pricey, as you guys can see here. At least about $160. They do range from that part depending on what you guys buy. If you guys buy them as a set, sometimes you can get them for as low as $300 to $250, depending on the brand that you guys are looking for. Just make sure you guys do your research, because these things are kick-ass.
Right up here is your suspension, which of these are your coilovers, and then you have your suspension hidden right inside of there. Those you definitely want to make sure that you change out. I'm going to show you guys the ones that are in the back side of the vehicle, because these are a little bit more easier to see. See, this is what your suspension is. Changing out these right here will definitely increase not only keeping your car flat on the floor, but also helping you with the steering as well. So changing out your sway bars and those are gonna help you out 100%. And I'm gonna actually show you guys a few companies that do make a coil kit and a suspension kit as well. But they're both the same thing. Suspension and coilovers are the same. So when you change out your sway bars, that's another one that you just want to change out.
Are you guys even tired of bumping and hitting and grinding your bumper and non-stop like it's a fucking hydraulic? Well, shock absorbers will help that, my friends. Here's a few lists right in front of you guys. There's about at least 7 right here, the greatest brands. I've looked it up on Google if you guys do not see right in front of your face. And I have not yet switched out mine, so I'll be definitely trying one of these brands out. And if you guys already did, let me know.
The next one is your calipers, rotors, and brake pads are definitely one of the most biggest one. I cannot stress this enough, because when you add more power to your vehicle, you want to be able to stop that power. And when you change out the caliper and the rotor, you're having that stop power. So when it does come time, when you're going 100 miles per hour, you're going to be able to stop that, because on a dime, actually, not because, but you're going to be able to stop it on a dime because you have really good calipers and rotors, and you really have really good brake pads, which is going to help that power just kill it. All right.
Now, brakes, rotors, calipers, ladies and gentlemen, like I was saying, it does help stop that speed that you guys have. Trust me, I know. I got a heavy foot too, guys. So I know that When you want more power, you're going to want some more stopping force, or else you guys are just going to crash into the next car in front of you. Or maybe you guys might just fall off the ledge or something. This will save your life in a lot of different subjects here. They do go for pretty pricey. This one is the GTR. This is just the front side of the GTR as well, and they're like $7,000. But look up your car. Make sure you find the biggest brakes as you can. And I'm not talking about just the brake itself. I'm talking about the rotors and calipers, and also change out your brake lines.
Your next one is definitely going to be a turbo kit. Turbos are usually found here in the ST and the RS. You cannot put it anywhere else, as you guys are seeing in front of you. There is just no room to put a turbo inside of this engine unless you put it directly in the backside of the engine, which will actually have a lot more room than just putting it in a boring place, which, like I said, you really can't. You're not driving a Mustang, you're driving a Focus that doesn't have any room whatsoever. And then you also have all your kit stuff that usually goes here, which is your intake and all that stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys a few other mods.
Well, if you guys really want the power, go ahead and supercharge or turbocharge your guys' car. Now keep in mind, turbocharging kits do cost about $4,000 to $7,000. Not mentioning all the engine work you got to get done, such as rebuilding, and you guys got to also do your fuel injectors and all that stuff. So supercharging is one step up, I guess you guys can say, above turbo, because you really don't need to do too much to a supercharger, but you still got to do your fuel injectors and such to make that power.
Now your ninth mod. A lot of people will actually do this before they even have the chance to turbocharge their vehicle, and it's usually right after that time when you tint your windows. And this is a muffler. Mine is completely straight piped. If you guys can actually see down in there, there's nothing in there. It's just a complete straight pipe that just goes all the way back. Has a lot of drone, but I'm actually going to show you guys a few that you guys can actually purchase for yours, which I think a Baller exhaust system is actually like the cheapest for the RS and the ST, and including, you can most likely throw it on an SEL and an SE trim, because those are the best ones that I have found just yet. But I'm going to go ahead and show you guys those. You guys can pick them out yourself. The link will be down in the description down below.
Alright, so you guys just installed your cold air in system. Okay, so now you're giving your engine some cold air. Now you want to let it exhale all that cold air. So upgrading your muffler, freeing up some muffler, will definitely help out with that. Give it some back throw. Make sure that the muffler doesn't sound too bad. You definitely don't want any drone going on. These right here in front of you guys are like the best ones that I can find on the internet, and they actually all do sound very good, even with a 4-cylinder car. So mine, I would definitely have to say the Bulla exhaust system.
And last but not least, guys, these tires that come factory are complete garbage. If you guys actually go outside right now and go look at your guys' tires and tell me what they look like, tell me what they feel like, and when you're driving down the street, let me know what you actually feel when you hit that accelerator. Do you feel a lot of popping, jumping, your car's just skidding out in no place and whatsoever? Are you getting any grip on the ground? Because tires are the ones that are actually going to do that for you. And when I had my GT Ultras on my Fusion, were actually the best tires that I have ever ran on a car. Where these tires are really cheap, you can actually feel how cheap they are. Really sucky. I want to change them out, as well as the rims. I'm going to stay with the 17-inch though, because I'm just going to go wider and make it a better tire that will actually look good on this car and will actually stick to the road. The stickier the tire, the more power that you deliver inside your engine. It's going to hit that floor because you have a lot more stickier tire. So keep that in mind. The stickier tire, the more better it's going to stick to this road right here, and the more you're going to be able to do some burnouts.
A new fresh of meat. And I'm not talking about your meat. I'm talking about tires, ladies and gentlemen. Here's about 7 different brands of tires right here. You want to make sure they are at least a decent size of wideness. Make sure that they have that good grip to grip that floor, because you want to deliver that power directly to the floor and not to your crank. So make sure you guys pick out some good rims and some good tires. Alright, now this one I'm actually throwing in. This is actually like a bonus mod right here. If you guys are actually looking for a better sounding exhaust, I would definitely get some real big exhaust headers, some wide angle headers, because that would definitely make your muffler sound a lot more beefy, a lot more better, and it will add that drone again. But hey, if you add a really good muffler system, you won't have to worry about that drone now, will ya? Now, as you guys can see, they do go for about 1,000 to 200 to 700. They range, so make sure you guys do your research on your own vehicle.
So that pretty much wraps it up for the 10 car mods that you can do to a non-turboed car. You guys can make tons of horsepower just by doing those 10 mods. You can also enjoy it as you take it to car meets and car shows and show everybody what you've done to your car. I hope you guys enjoyed that short video, and if you guys did, make sure you smack that subscribe button, give me a thumbs up, and there will be future videos like this in the future. Make sure you also check out my social media down in the description down below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Tough Builds out. Peace!